welcome to another very interesting and exciting episode of My Two Cents on African Entertainment Television. And you know how we do it. I am not here alone, but with the beautiful ladies, my co-anchors, who are always with very, very solid and enlightened opinions. Ladies, I am always excited when they say it is time for My Two Cents. But guys, before these beautiful ladies introduce themselves, of course, let me oblige you. My name is Mandarin Chuku. You can call me Maggie. And the beautiful lady to my right.
Hi guys, welcome to the show. My name is Mary Emmanuel.
My name is Gabrielle Egu. You're welcome. This is My Two Cents.
I'm Success Cameron's, call me Tiny. This is My Two Cents, you're welcome.
And guys, there is something special that we have for you today. You know, we're all single girls and we're always here, giving you what we think, how we feel, things we have seen. But today, there is someone in our midst that have gone some steps above. And because we care about you, and because of the kind of topics that we are going to handle today, we decided to bring a very special guest in the person of Mrs. Oyebadijo. Ladies, a warm welcome. There is no shouting there.
Glad to have you on the show today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. It's an honor to be with
And
you,
I think
ladies.
it's very interesting that we have you here because we're starting a really high note. We're talking about weddings, guys.
Yeah.
We're talking about weddings. Now, every girl dreams and fantasizes about her big day. And weddings are becoming very dramatic.
Oh my God.
As the
Extra.
years go by and they're getting increasingly extravagant. And let's look at what this bride displayed on her big day. And when I say displayed, I mean
It was a show.
display.
Every
Let's-
word of it.
Let's watch the video. Well, I was watching the video with my mouth open. I was like, oh,
She's excited.
Oh, she's very
It's her
excited. And
big
then
day.
she started really, singing to the song. And then she proceeded to give some steps. I was like, let the girl not fall down. Sit down. Let the rapper
Like, I
know
was
what's
like, you
quiet.
dance on your wedding like that.
Okay, so I want to know, ladies. And I feel like we should start first, and then I will get Mrs. Oyebadijo's take on it, because I don't want anybody to be stealing answers. Understand? Yeah.
You don't want expo
So,
like that.
would you do this? Would you be so free as to take the stage and be this open and dance on your wedding day? Let's start with Mary.
I'm thinking about it. I mean, look at that video. Yes, she went extra mile. Yes.
You not see the one that was doing Beyonce. Oh, what did it was just
Okay, the other clip, right?
oh my
No,
God.
well, I don't think I could do that. So I would be very happy, yes, but I think I'm kind of shy. Yeah, I don't think I can go extra miles. Like,
I should do.
Yeah. I might do that in the club though, but yeah, no.
No, your wedding day.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you
But
think?
I think this was a reception, where your friends are gathered. It's not like, the church wedding.
Well, when I watch that, I think of mine. My parents will still be there, so I can't.
Okay, why? Why would you be shy to?
I feel like if
it's your day.
Well, this is me telling you my take. I can't jump like that.
I'm
I'll
going
just
to
dance
fasted
like.
for 70 days and 70 nights.
Go to Shiloh.
No,
Go back.
And then my mother-in-law might be looking. This girl looks like a club girl. So I have to just maintain. I just dance like
To please the mother-in-law, I see.
Oh,
okay,
Well,
so
for
Gabby-
me though, I think, the question we should be asking is, can I even dance like that? To
That's
start
the
with.
dance I've seen.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can dance.
thank you. Okay, so for me though, I think I can actually, put up that kind of show because, everybody will be shocked and be like,
Gabby.
I will spray you my last penny. Gabby, if I see you dance like that.
But I would actually. It's once in a while. So I'm saying that even people who, have unfortunately had some instances in their marriage that has led them to, actually have the marriage happen again, would still be excited because it's not something people look forward to doing every time. But at the end of the day, if it is happening, it's a moment of joy. You know that So for me, I think I would express it as much as possible.
Wow.
That one time. Yeah, I'd say that.
Gabby,
That
there's
one
nothing,
time.
there's nothing that will ever stop me from coming to your wedding.
I will express it as much as possible. So this one that Maggie already said that she knows I can dance. I'm even more confident.
You'll be all out to impress Maggie.
Wait, Maggie, did you say she can dance or she can't dance?
She can.
I thought I heard
That's what she said.
She can.
She said can.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, Gabby, let's hear Maggie, let's hear your take.
Well, I mean, it's the day, right? I mean, we've been fantasizing about it since I was like, what, 12? And then you're thinking of the dress, but now weddings, you can wear like 3 to 4 dresses, right?
Yeah.
So you see that for that special dance, I'm going to have special shots for it because I will drop it. The plan is that I plan to do it once. I plan to do it once, so that once I plan to give everybody a show. They should take it home.
Oh my god. Wedding number 2, please, what is the Ashwabi color? Simulator.
Yes,
But right now,
I
I really want to hear what Mrs. Oyebadejo has to say. But then before you guys say I'm cheating, on my wedding day, the truth is, I don't even know. I sometimes, I get when a lot of people expect me to be super happy. I get it, and I'm not depressed. But it's so underwhelming. I just pray not to be underwhelmed on my wedding day. You understand? But if I'm not underwhelmed, if I'm
to fix things,
no, I won't do that. It's my wedding, so I mean,
You have to be very relaxed.
but the thing is, I feel like I will be that if it's not underwhelming, I'm going dance. I'm going down.
Oh, yeah,
I'm gonna throw it down on the dance floor. You guys can wait. So yeah, I feel like that although I might be shy, but see, it's one time. So Mrs. Oyebadejo, let us know. In fact, you have done it. We are all fantasizing, but you've been there, done that. So how was it for you? And do you have any regrets?
Thank you, Tiny. I didn't dance like that on my wedding day, but I think the lady had the right to express her joy, to express her excitement, because there are 3 main levels in life. Your birth, on your naming ceremony, people will plan for you, and then the death, people will also plan for you. It's only your wedding you get to plan all by yourself to the very last detail. So when you give it your all, and that is why you have to make sure that marriage works. It's not just the wedding. The wedding is just the ceremony. The marriage itself is after that ceremony. So when you think of all the effort and the planning and the spending, make sure you put your head down and you make sure that marriage works. But I think she had the right to express herself. She had the right to be happy, to be joyful. She was really full of energy. So she had every right to be expressive of her excitement, her joy. The energy was so contagious. Her groom was by the side, cheering her on. So I think that also bolstered her energy, and I think she really had fun.
Speaking of groom, why does it seem like the bride is always happier than the groom on the wedding? I'm not saying that it happens every time, but for the most part, we see that the ladies are the ones really excited, you guys.
I've seen weddings where men were very excited. There was one popular one that you were showing one time when the man opened the veil and then he started jumping.
You know why?
Exactly.
You know why it went viral? Because that's like 1 in 1,000. So how come women are more excited?
Well, this societal expectation. When she has,
oh my god,
accomplished it.
Oh my
all
god.
girls, she has to be happy.
Okay, but the man.
So what's the man? Something like
I'm talking about societal expectation.
True.
When there are some certain ages you get to, and then they expect you to get married immediately. Yeah.
But a man, they'll be like, nah man,
you can marry anytime.
marry
So that's what I was
anytime.
trying to say.
That's so unfair, by the way.
Miss Oyebadejo, but do you agree? I mean, you've been there, done that. Our wedding's still the same.
Okay. Why the bride is excited?
Yeah.
Because
Why brides are more excited?
More excited. Well, let's say that first and foremost, a lot of effort is put into making the bride look very beautiful.
Okay.
the grooms, they usually come in jackets, suits,
things that
so
they
you know, they are, yes. But when the bride is coming, there's a special song. Here comes the bride. Everybody stands. There is so much honor accorded to the bride.
Ceremony is mostly around the
So
bride.
yes, so the it's her day actually. It's her day because, you know, let me just the Holy Book says, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing." So she's a good thing that has been found.
Okay, so
And
in that context, how come it's not the man who found the good thing?
That is
Okay,
exciting.
that's another angle.
Yes, let me tell you why. Because he found the good thing, but he paid dearly. So therefore,
that's
no, but
very
it's true.
correct.
But it's true. Yeah.
Okay, so you
His
just
pocket. No, he has paid, but then he's looking at the good thing.
It's like,
is it worth it?
My money's gone, you know.
no,
So
is
I
it
mean,
worth it?
Is that what
worth
it is?
please.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Come on, somebody's marrying Maggie.
So
on
you're
that
managing-
video.
is that what it is?
Please.
But at the same time,
Yeah, you're like,
you're like,
20 million.
yes.
How fun now?
So,
Okay,
I mean-
so but I mean I don't know. I feel like I agree with Mary. The social expectations are placed on the bride. So because I mean, you know how a level of respect is accorded to people that are married
Yeah, when you're
over
married.
people that are not. Even if
Yeah.
you're the same age, once this person is married, she's accorded more respect.
Yeah.
You understand? So you finally get to that level, especially when you have your family pressuring you and everything, and this day has finally come.
Yeah, in your faces.
Yes.
I mean, some people actually do dry fasting for this. Like, it's
Come on.
for 100 days.
Mary, Abba,
But it's true.
100 days.
If I
Wow.
did 100 days fasting,
Going to prayer house to prayer house. I don't know.
I'm trying to look for a partner, and that's the truth. That's the honest truth. We see.
And the ones they take photographs to, you know, there's a particular church activity that happens,
Okay,
events, and then I
okay.
take photographs to this, you know, church events.
Mhm.
And I'm wondering,
Photographs of who they want to marry.
I don't think I want to give my 2 cents on that, and that's the reason I'm going to be asking. Why does it seem like weddings are for our families, like for the family of the
Of the
intended
couple?
couples or the couple?
yeah.
It's more like the families are dragging everything, like they're the ones that own the celebration,
Yeah.
and the bride and groom are, you know,
they're like guests in their own event.
most
Okay,
times.
so I have an answer to that.
Okay.
Because now the families own the children. They've yes, they own the children. They bore the children. The children come from there. They originated.
fight on this side.
No, calm down. There's sense to what
They
I'm
are
saying.
giving them away.
Well,
They are giving them
They
away.
originated from there. This family has trained that child. Every single thing that child has become, or this adult now has
Mm.
become,
Yeah, I
came
totally
from there. It's like,
agree with that, yeah.
I've put in so much money into your schooling.
Yeah.
I've put in so much money from the time you were a child.
Training,
So
making
now
you who you
this
are.
is it's I don't know how to explain it. I must take part in this big event that is this defining moment of your life.
Mary is
I don't know
just
how to explain
affirming.
it.
Please
Yes,
hear
no,
you.
actually, see, our society is communal, right?
Yes.
Every, like, a child, someone born, belongs to everybody.
Yes.
Actually, most especially the family,
Mm.
right? And then if you go traditionally, if someone is getting married, some of this stuff, or okay, let me use where I'm from, for example. When you're coming to marry a bride, the bride's family have a lot to contribute
They
to.
give you a long list.
A lot. No, apart from the only thing that the man is paying for is the list. What's inside the list?
Okay.
Now, if you're from a
Please
very
don't
good
say
family,
only the only thing.
no, I'm talking
some
about my
cases.
own tradition.
Okay.
Yeah, the only thing that's traditionally
Yeah.
is the list that you're giving. But if you're married from a very good family, all right, they will not bill you. Everything traditionally has to come from the bride's family.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's really surprising.
Yes. So I'm saying weddings are more for the family than for the couple.
Yes.
Because
The
if you
family
say
is
that,
even spending, contributing financially.
True,
First of all, they're
true.
spending a
Because
lot of
if-
money.
if
So you
that-
can't expect them not to have a stake in that.
If
marriage.
that's the case, how
On the wedding.
come there's the issue of this long list that you find in some?
That's why I said it's tradition.
that's what I'm
It's
going.
just
That's what
tradition.
I'm going to ask Mrs. Oyebadejo now, because you know we've not given anybody list. So the person that's giving somebody list should be answering all these
Tell us,
questions.
please.
Yes, please.
Was she the one that gave the list?
Her family.
family.
Yes, my family gave the list.
Okay.
And if I remember, 40 or 41 pieces of yam,
Then, wow.
That's a
bag
lot.
of salt.
She's a chick. What
I hope I remember. I hope I'm correct. There is this fish we call eja osun, I think. big fish, very
It's
expensive fish. Yes. Palm oil, I think. I
How do you know
know.
that fish?
You know, it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
the eriawo. Yes, we call it eriawo. That's the wife's luggage, sort of.
Yeah, that
So
box
where-
like stuff.
And then a box of
Is
clothes
it like
and
the Ecolag
Would
that
there be
Igbo
clothes
people
inside?
yes,
Hollandis.
yes.
laces?
We don't open it to see what's there. We just believe the groom would have done due diligence, yes, and put what he feels his wife is worth.
Does the groom actually do that?
Well,
I'm waiting
my
for the
my
answer.
my husband did. My husband did. So the load is shared between the bride's parents, a father's family, and a mother's family. Yes, those are the people that, if I believe, it's been 20 years, so
Wow.
it's been a long time.
Wow.
So, and then another reason why I believe parents also want to participate
Actively.
actively,
Or
thank
even take
you,
total control. I've seen situations where they just
Take
take
total
total
control.
control.
Yeah.
And
is because I feel in a way that's a way of that it's for them. It's like, this is the last time I'm going to have a say in the life of this child. This is the last time she's going to want to listen to me. This is the last time I can tell her what to do. You know, considering what Gabi said, they have invested, and also most of the guests are their friends. Many of the guests are their friends. They come to rejoice with them. The marriage takes place in the parents' church, at least from where I'm coming from the parents' church. The bride, yes, yes, the bride's church.
Never
So
happened in the guys in the,
no,
groom's church.
because the parents hand over the bride to the church. The church hands over the bride to the groom. So it's not like Western culture where they say, who give this bride away, and then the father comes. The father comes, yes, but he hands it.
that church wedding thing from the Western, so
Yes.
just copy everything 100%.
Well, our cult, you know, it's just like it's like our culture is very unique, and it's very respectable, and it's very it's something that we have to keep teaching. We have to keep teaching, so we don't forget it. We have accommodated a lot of Western culture, a lot of Western habits, a lot of Western civilization. So the little we need to do, we want to preserve our culture so that family is very important.
Speaking of marriages, that leads us into another topic, which is still on marriages. Now, we've seen that new generation marriages, compared to the older generation marriages, seem to have higher rates of divorce. And I want also to take an example of a very popular interracial couple on social media, whose wife is a belly dancer, and then the husband came out recently to talk about how he wants to get divorced from his wife. Let's take a look at this post.
I divorced Cora because we got into an argument, and Cora says things to hurt me sometimes, and she repeatedly told me that she regretted June ever being born. And I asked her to stop saying that, and June was in my arms crying, and she repeatedly said it over and over again.
Okay, so we've seen the post. We know this woman because she's very popular. She's a Nigerian, and then she has a husband who's of a different race, and they're so popular on Instagram. People love them. People have sort of seem to have a stake in their relationship because the moment online exactly, and family members. So the moment the man came out and made this announcement, people were very disturbed because
People went
they
for
assumed they assumed that these people are
They had a
very
perfect
happy.
marriage.
Yes, that their marriage was nothing less than perfect. So at the end of the day, we still keep hearing news of this sort. Some of the marriages we see on social media that people really admire. You hear that
Crashing.
we see them crashing. So I really want to know what is the difference, and I think I'm going to be directing this discussion straight at Sarah, because it's so good to have someone who's married
Who's
amongst
been
us.
there.
It just seems sometimes like
Something
the
is
marriages
missing.
these days that were not arranged as it was in those days. And
Yeah.
in those days, our marriages had a different ways, different ways that they were arranged.
Yeah.
The couples don't meet by
They don't,
themselves.
they don't meet by
They don't
themselves.
meet by
Father will just say,
themselves.
see you.
There's somebody
There's
that
someone
They are
for you.
before them.
And
Beautiful
there's
flower
a child
in your-
too.
Yeah.
there's a beautiful
Exactly.
flower in your
We are going to
compound
have
that we are
blood
going to
leaves.
pluck.
We're here to pluck it. As compared to people meeting up on social
Yeah.
media and dating. So
Mm.
does it feels like the younger generation sometimes seems to be getting things wrong these days because of the higher rates of divorce. So I just want to know what your thoughts are on this, comparing the two.
The rate of divorce, yes, it's higher now than it was 20 years ago. But I would not say that it's the fault of the man or the fault of the woman. It takes both of you to fight for that marriage if it means something to you. When I say younger couples that are having issues and nobody wants to bow, I say, see, on your wedding day, you were smiling. There was something you saw in that man that made you say yes. There was something you saw in that woman that made you say yes. Try and look for it. It's not missing. It's there. You are not paying it enough attention. You are not paying it enough attention. So it's not like our parents or my generation had some magic petals, thrown at us or anything. We just decided that. I decided when I was growing up that no matter what happens in my marriage, I am staying. I am staying because of my children and because it will be beautiful to have a home where people can come back to. Your children go to school, they are coming back home, they are not torn between choices. Should I go to see daddy? Should I go to see mommy? They are coming back home and they know, oh, when I get home, mom is going to cook something delicious. We are going to play a game by the fireside. All these memories that we build raising these children. Those are the memories they take along with them when they leave the house. And those are the memories that want to make them to come back. You just need to fight for it. It's permit me to say that a lot of things are, if you can't take it, drop it. Oh, it's not convenient.
Yeah.
I can't do. No, it's.
So I was going to ask.
Yes.
Thank God you mentioned it. So
Yes.
is it that there was actually nothing that was like a deal breaker for you? For instance,
At the time.
For instance, there are issues of physical abuse. Sorry, I don't mean to pry. You don't have to
I
answer it
understand.
from personal
I
place.
understand.
But like, sure, my parents have been married 37 years this year, but I know there were times growing up that I actually saw them separate for a period of time and then come back. So I know these things happen.
Yes.
So for you, is it that you made that decision? Was it not at this thing like if he does this again, I'm done? Because that's like what is obtainable now. Young couples say if you do this one, this is a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. Not doing it again. So,
Okay, so of course there are circumstances where it can be life-threatening. Such circumstances, we would advise that you separate, and just
so separation is
is healthy. You need to be alive to be in a marriage. If you're not alive, there's no point. So if there is abuse, just separate and make sure that you get back your self-esteem, you're mentally balanced, you're not being pressured because you don't want people around, because they don't know what you're going through in that home. They don't know what you're going through in that family. I, for one, till now, I'm not bragging, but my husband has never raised his hand. Never.
Awesome record.
Never. And it's something that I think God bestowed on me because he is such a gentleman.
And you are
Sometimes-
a gentlewoman too.
Oh,
So I'm going to,
yeah.
I'm going to come in here and talk about it.
Okay.
It's just like you said, that marriage takes two people to work.
Yes.
But then if you say he hasn't raised his hand to hit you before,
He hasn't.
I'm grateful for that. But it's because you have also worked on not provoking him to the point. Because some of us, because we feel, if he touches me, he's a bad person. He's a woman beater. But what are you doing to provoke him?
him.
You just run your mouth anyhow. See, I have seen.
And we have bad
I
language.
have a friend when she was dating her partner. She uses something. She hits it at. She throws it at him. She can just use her hand to slap him, and this guy will never raise his hand to hit her back. And so we take advantage of that, But then we're talking about divorce here.
Okay.
So, but then
So I
let
want
me
to- I
raise
want
this
to
up
say
before
something.
you
Okay.
say this, Gabby. I want to say that I've been watching Cora and her husband for a while now, and I really, really love them. But there's one question that was always on my mind. For how long would you be able to cope with what your wife is putting out on social media? She's a belly dancer, yes, but I don't know where to draw the line between belly dancing and just sexual overtness and just downright, selling sex. So I don't know. I'm an outsider watching from outside in. So what is the cause of this divorce?
Okay, so I have something to say about that quickly.
Okay.
But the thing is, I just want to point out that whether the physical abuse in a marriage is coming from the man, from the woman, or in a relationship, abuse is totally unacceptable and it's wrong.
Yes,
I was going to
say
that
the issue of provocation doesn't come to play.
Yes, issue of
Actually.
provocation really doesn't come to play.
I mean, you
there's
have
something called
self-discipline,
self-control
control.
or managing,
Anger.
Yes, anger.
Anger management.
So provocation should not, be the
reason,
why
the
abuse
excuse.
or an excuse for
Yeah.
abuse.
But
Whether it's
never
from
an
the
Do you
man
know there's
or
some
from
people
the
that
woman?
actually intentionally provoke people beyond measures?
I know,
And that's
but
what
even
like,
then,
because
there are
abuse
ways to
can
handle,
cause
provocation that doesn't need to lead
But
to
it's
I've
easier
actually heard-
said than done.
Yes, feel that this person is provoking me beyond my control. I think,
Threshold.
just like you said,
Threshold.
it's
You
very
remove
important to
yourself
separate.
away from
remove
that
yourself from
environment.
that kind of
What if the person does not
Because
want to be
at the end of the
removed?
day, let me tell you the reality.
Carry police
No, I'm so sorry. You have to say this because at the end of the day, we've seen people, happy couples, who end up separated, and this separation now happens by force. Where
force,
a
and
case
becomes
where
damage.
the husband is in prison now and the woman is separated from him by death
By
that he
death.
caused. So if we're talking
What
about
could have been
separation,
avoided?
we need to know that if it's not done by the parties,
Yeah.
it's going to be done some other way
Some
by
other way.
force.
And it's going to be permanent.
Exactly.
So
and it's permanent.
this separation we're
So
talking
very
about was
important.
divorce, right?
No.
Now,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
temporary.
It mustn't
No.
be
You
just
know, I was
one.
gonna ask.
No, it's not
something about
divorce.
If your separation actually meant divorce.
No, it doesn't.
No,
It just means both parties cooling off.
Just think,
You
you
know,
know,
for
for a
what would
while.
you say? Like, what's
Taking
the
a
time
break.
frame?
It depends on the
It depends on the individual.
Yes.
The person may have been condoning it for a while, and when the person sees that this is getting out of hand, he or she may just withdraw. When there is withdrawal and the other party begins to seek for you, I can't
I
find my
miss you.
husband. Yes.
Then you start to see
You understand.
perspective comes.
It's very
Yes.
necessary. Like I
Then
mentioned
you
earlier,
can-
Like I mentioned earlier, right? My parents have been married 7 years, right?
Okay.
So when I was in secondary school, that was when they had the issue. They separated, and they were apart for about 4 years.
Like she
Wow.
left the home, or she was still there, but
She
they were
left
not
the
talking.
home. She went to
Okay.
her own place. She was doing her thing, doing her business. My dad was doing his thing. They needed to get their sanity together. And at that point, we the kids also needed to see. You cannot be in a place because you do not want to be separated and then raise damaged children. Because whatever you're
True.
doing as couple is reflecting.
Exactly.
True, of course.
Exactly.
I mean, there are things that there's always somebody will talk to me now. Next thing I'm like, whoa,
Don't do that.
Yeah.
you don't do that here.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So
Yeah.
if that did not happen, and now by the time they got back together, they were different, they were grown, and now we're celebrating 37 years. Who
Wow.
would have known if that gap did not happen?
Happen.
What would have happened?
I'm
Exactly.
very grateful.
Something
I'm
would have
very
given.
grateful it turned out like that
Yeah.
for your parents.
Yeah.
But we should always understand that these things are not as simple.
Yeah.
See, when it's the hardest thing for human beings is change, and that's the truth. That's both the easiest and the hardest thing. And the worst part is we know what to do to change, but it's just hard because it's not
It's
in
hard,
our
yeah.
human nature to give up what we are already accustomed
We're
to.
used to it.
So you mentioned something about I'm missing you and all. You can also miss something that's toxic, right?
Yeah, of course.
Something that you're already familiar with, you know what?
Yeah.
And then you think everything is okay without. And we here in Africa, we don't even really regard therapy. We
Yes.
don't really
We
go
don't-
and
we don't
we don't
regard
take care of
therapy.
ourselves.
Which
you
is
understand?
something
So
that
if
Cora's
you're not,
husband
if you've
mentioned.
not done therapy, if you've not sought help, if you've not like done exercises, purged your mind and everything, and then you're going back, I don't understand what kind of magic do you want to happen.
yeah.
You will after a while
You're back
you
to
come
start
back
to
You
school.
treat and
Okay,
heal
so there are things that
yourself.
Tiny said that I just wanted to, that makes so much sense to me. Number one, she was basically saying that it's important that even when that separation occurs, they should seek
work on
solutions,
yourself.
Yes.
work on themselves before
Yes.
returning.
Yes.
together.
You could go
That
for
it's okay to
counseling.
work on relations,
Yes.
counseling,
Counseling,
exactly.
that's
So I
good.
completely agree. But there was something you mentioned about
About
Cora
Cora,
Obidi
yeah.
and her husband, and you were, Cora Obidi herself, and you said that what's the difference between
Overt.
being sexually overt, and belly dancing.
Where's the line?
So where's the line
Yeah.
to be drawn? For me, my thought on that is sort of left for the man and the wife to determine
decide.
what's overboard, what do I not want.
Yeah.
Because when two people become one, the bodies of each other belongs to each other. Exactly.
yes.
So I mean, the man can tell his wife, "Oh, you're doing too much. I don't like this," and the woman can tell herself, "Oh, this is where I draw the line." The public is not going to be able
And
to
I've-
draw
and
the
I've
line
moved
for
from
them.
For them.
Exactly.
Well, concerning Cora and Dean, right? So the man's name is Dean. Dean is an American, and he met Cora here in Lagos, Nigeria. He knew what Cora was doing, the kind of lifestyle she was living.
Her dress sense.
Her dress sense before they married. Now, of course, as an adult that is married and she's had a child, she should take it upon herself to know that, okay, this is what I should do and what I should no longer do. But apparently, she's not getting that common sense. And
Ouch.
if you listen,
Okay, that was harsh.
excuse my French. And if you listen to what Dean was saying, he kept saying somebody that is not willing to evolve, that he accused her of being a narcissist. She doesn't apologize when she does wrong. A cheat threatens him with divorce whenever he tries to call her to order. So basically, she has been manipulating him because she feels
Based on what we read
based
on
on
social
what
media.
he said, what he said, and so far, do you know why it seems like people are believing the man? Because it's actually rare for the man to be the one to come out and say, you know what, I'm asking for a divorce.
Yeah.
Usually, it's the women that first come out to say, well, you know what, I'm not doing it again, and start throwing tantrums.
This is so heartbreaking.
And he said that she was unbothered about whatever.
Yeah,
And
she
really,
doesn't
that's what she's
care.
showing us. She
I
has
mean-
not talked about it.
So-
She has started dancing again.
Okay, I mean, what's going on in their marriage is left for them to resolve. But at the end of the day, something you said, I like the fact that you delved in deeper into what the man actually explained as a reason for the divorce. But at the end of the day, most times when we hear about divorces, people give irreconcilable differences as the reason for the separation, permanent
Divorce.
separation. So I wanted to ask everybody one by one, just quickly, to tell me, is it possible, for people to have gone for marriage with the wrong person? And if it's possible that, in a marriage, this person picked the wrong partner, how do you think
Are you
it
correct?
is to know, not even to correct, how do you think people can know the right person? Just what do you think? As simple and as short as possible. How do you know?
I'll try to
I think
be very
this is
short.
okay.
Okay. Well, so I met someone actually. I do a family show on radio.
Okay.
So I met someone and he told me that he can never go back to his wife. And I'm wondering why. He said he never loved her in the first place.
Wow.
And I asked
Why did you
why.
marry?
And he said his mom just told him to marry her.
Okay.
There was no
To
love.
please his mom.
So he was just, according to him, what's that word now? It was just bearing the marriage.
Enduring.
Yeah, enduring. That's the word.
Enduring.
Enduring the marriage.
So I'm going to direct this question straight to Mrs. Urban because everybody's stunned and wow. Please, how do people know the one? Because I think it's a very important
It's a very important question.
Because if people are getting married to people that are not the one, and that's why they're separating.
I feel like I spoke about change and how changing is hard, but then the passion that helps us, that drive that helps us to know, okay, this is really good for me. I need to adjust my life to it.
Yeah.
It's different from the passion. It's different. It's totally different from when you are trying and it's just not working. You understand? When you've tried all you can and it's just not natural. It's just not working. Know when to say, you know what, this is not for me, and learn to let go. But it's really hard and painful to let go a lot of the time. So I feel like that's the reason we all fall into the trap of like being where we don't want to be, because it's hard to let go. But then it's harder to stay and be unloved and feel all the kind of things
like
that
you're
you are
getting
feeling.
used,
Yes, so
Maybe you have something to say about that.
Knowing the right person, I don't know, with all the advent of social media and people having numerous options, somebody does something to you. I think the idea of patience is non-existent.
Yes.
Because somebody just offends you and you go like, what?
Yeah.
delete the number, block
20,000.
Cancel. You're canceled.
Yeah.
So it's difficult. I'm not really saying it's difficult, but I think if you put your mind to it, if you pray about it, sorry, I get a little
No,
bit.
I'm not need to be
Of
honest.
course,
This is
pray.
the partner for the rest of your life.
Yes.
You have to go spiritual.
Yeah.
So if you're intentional about it, right, and you pray on it, I think you will get that discernment, that clarity
Yeah.
in there will be this calm in your spirit.
Yeah.
This
That
is the
this
one.
person
Is-
and you realize that it won't have this kind of pressure there
No
won't be this
pressure,
on
no stress.
yes, there
So
won't
natural.
be it won't be like trying to fit a peg in a square hole.
Yeah, round peg
Which
in a
is usually
square
what,
hole.
what happens most times, but then they will say where the pros and the cons, and if it's working, you should just go ahead and do it. And you are forgetting that small voice in your head that's telling you that.
You know what? The
Yeah,
cons
not
are
right.
the cons.
So
I
actually,
completely- I
sorry, I'll
completely
quickly
agree,
say something to
Maggie.
what I said. Do not let anybody choose for you.
Okay, so
So
mine
like-
would
oh.
be, just like Maggie said, very similar. Watch out for peace.
Mm.
You know, something that doesn't feel, and just like what you said, like something external. You just feel like part of you.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the
You don't have to struggle for it.
peace. Yeah.
Like an infection. And you're trying to fight it off. You're using antibiotics. So let me use antibiotics. Well, like Maggie said, you can't rule out prayer.
True.
Because you don't know where that person is coming from. Only God knows. You don't know where he has been or where she has been. Only God knows. And only God knows the future of whoever you choose to pair yourself with.
True.
So it's important. God does not hide when we look for him.
True.
He has made himself available for whomever wants to come, wants to approach him. So when you're preparing to get married, seek him.
Yeah, thank you very much for your perspective on that. So at this point, we're going to take a very short break. We'll be back right after talking about something entirely different. Don't go anywhere.